Testing, testing. Okay, there we go. OBS, like, wasn't recognizing my mic for a second. Sorry. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Fate Grand Order LB6. Last time we left off, well, we saved Norwick, but then, I guess, before I get into what I was gonna say, we saved Norwick, Mash got her memories back, and, I guess Morgan didn't take too kindly to us saving Norwick, because she, like, zapped Mash away to who knows where. So, you know, hopefully we'll definitely be reunited with her, but hopefully it's, like, soon-ish and not, you know, end of Act 2. But I have a weird feeling it is gonna be a while before we see her again, even when she just got her memories back. Hey Gogeta, hey Meridak. Yeah, we'll see. Anyway, yeah, so we're on to the beginning of Act 2, and we're getting to the intro, interestingly enough. So let us begin. Yeah, it's still all dark here in the in the Nautilus. Extra from the deck. Da Vinci's Typhone is back. Thanks, Marine. Let Typhone rest up in her cage until we're done writing our response. Scans for hazardous substances and contaminants are clear. It's a report from Da Vinci. Direct to music, Holmes, if you would. Very well, let's take a look. I see you. Oh, fascinating. Heads of the fairy clans, calamities, a mysterious fairy horse who goes by Reg Rabbit. Yes, this report has proven to be yet another scintillating array of tidbits. Care to read it yourself, Godolph? He's like, oh, yes, of course. LB6. I'm Callia's director, after all. It's my job to stay abreast of all our latest developments. If you'll all pipe down, Captain, Marines, and pot of fur, I'll read it out loud so you can follow along. Alright, to start off, let's go over what we know about Fairy Britain thus far. Alright. Fairy Britain, aka the Sixth Lost Belt, is a dangerous place where no electronic devices can function. Ritsuka, Callia's resident master and special investigations officer. Her exclusive servant, Mash Curilite. Our technical advisor, Leonardo da Vinci, and Tristan, a servant who was summoned out of nowhere. All set foot on Britain together. However, upon entering the Fey domain known as the Nameless Woods, they forgot their own names and memories and ended up separated. Ritsuka awoke in the village of Cornwall, where she made contact with a local fairy, Artoria Casta, who would come to aid Caldia in her mission. Thanks to her and Tristan, Ritsuka escaped from the Nameless Woods, where she then met another collaborator by the name of Oberon, the Fairy King, and began her investigation in earnest. After reuniting with Da Vinci, Ritsuka began gathering information on Fairy Britain. Is this entire node just going to be recap? Began gathering information on Fairy Britain, with a focus on anything that might lead her to Mash Curilite. And this Lost Belt's king is Morgan, a fairy who has been ruling for the past 2,000 years. And the fairies who populate it are divided into 6 clans, and they also control the human population. There are also creatures known as Moors, who are the fairies' natural predators. There are also Tamlin, fairy knights who possess the names of heroic spirits from proper human history. There are calamities that occur every 100 years, and great calamities that occur every 1,000. And there is a figure called the Child of Prophecy who is said to be the one who will defeat Morgan. After undertaking a pilgrimage to ring 6 spells kept by each heads of the 6 clans. I don't know why there was an S on heads. It should just be each head of the 6 clans. She'll then go on to defeat Morgan and become the true king of Britain. Naturally, as you can imagine, Ritsuka would never let her do something like that on her own. So she proposed a partnership with Artoria Casta, without even waiting for my orders. So now we're obliged to lend the Child of Prophecy our full support in order to defeat our common enemy, Morgan. Yeah. In the time since our last report, Ritsuka's team met with Aurora. The head of the Wind Clan had a run-in with Tamlin Gawain at a ranch for keeping humans. Fought Tamlin Tristan at Auction House, where they also rescued Senji Muramasa, a servant disciple of the foreign god. Met with Murian, the head of the Wind Clan, encountered Koyonskia in yet another new outfit. And had another local fairy by the name of Gareth, and a mysterious Fey horse called Reg Rabbit join the team. After a series of adventures, including a battle against the Drukhei in the River of Tears, Ritsuka's team finally arrived in the city of Norwick. There, who should they encounter but Mash Kirillite, whom the local fairies believed to be the Child of Prophecy. No matter how many times I reread this part, it still doesn't make sense to me. How did Kirillite come to be known as the Child of Prophecy? Oh, there's a whole story behind that, but you know, that's well, I'm sure we'll tell you all about it, or Mash will probably tell you all about it, because I assume she has all her memories from that still, I would think. It definitely didn't seem like she was confused at all when her mind snapped back into place. Plus, we had our memories of Cornwall and what happened there after we got ours back, so. But she was also, like, deeper into, like, a different personality at this point, so it's like. But I assume she has her memories of everything that happened. And what in the world is a happy cat? If only this report could respond to questions. But since it can't, we'll just have to use our imaginations to fill in the gaps. I'm guessing Kirillite had her own share of troubles after escaping the Nameless Woods. At one point, she probably ended up saving some people. Fairies up in the northern part of Britain, which probably led them to regard her as a hero. At any rate, the report also says that Ritsuka's team made contact with the Crypto Peperoncino, who had been laying low in Norwick. After numerous mishaps, the Calamity of Norwick finally appeared. Fortunately, with Chaldea's help, the Child of Prophecy, well, it was mostly Mash, but yeah. With Chaldea's help, the Child of Prophecy was able to defeat this calamity. However, shortly after Mash Kirillite had finally been reunited with Ritsuka, she was whisked away to parts unknown by a mysterious phenomenon, separating her from Ritsuka once again. But there's no time to grieve this unfortunate turn of events. I'm certain Ritsuka would agree. For you see, in a surprising turn of events, she and Artoria were invited to Camelot, home of King Arthur in proper human history, and location of the evil castle in Fairy Britain, by High Queen Morgan herself. The very Morgan who possesses Rongominiad, a powerful spell that could be used to fight the foreign god, and one of her main objectives in coming to the Soul Spelt in the first place. Now Ritsuka, Da Vinci, Artoria, Gareth, Muramasa, and Happy Cat have accepted Morgan's invitation and are setting out for Camelot first thing tomorrow. Yeah, well, that sums it all up. And that's all she wrote. Now, do you all feel sufficiently caught up? Yeah, we got most of that, thanks. Okay, we're gonna head back to our posts now. It was like he was reading them a story.
Sounds like things are pretty crazy out there again. I hope Mash is okay.
Not to worry. Da Vinci's report was quite upbeat. So if nothing else, we can be certain that Mash is safe. The real problem is this Watermere spell of Morgan's. Yeah. According to the data enclosed along with the report, it would seem that... So those dark clouds over the city of Norwich weren't a calamity pool, but one of Morgan's spells.
Oh, so was Morgan actually planning on saving Norwich even though she said she wasn't? Oh, where she? Oh no, she was probably counting on the Child of Prophecy showing up there, and was planning on using it on. Yeah, okay.
It's hard to believe she was able to remotely control such a powerful spell from over 100 kilometers away. Between the Water Mirror and Rongominiad, it's clear she's a powerful enemy on par with any of the other Lost Belt kings we've seen.
I'm afraid I don't know much about Morgan's legend. Could I ask you to fill me in? I only know her story from proper human history, but if you'll settle for that, then sure. Alright, let's start with her general background. According to British myth, she's the good fairy of the lake.
Who ends up not so good.
And then in the legend of King Arthur, she's depicted as an evil witch bent on destroying him. Morgan was a child of the Duke of Tintagel and Lady Igraine, and later became King Arthur's half-sister after her mother married King Uther. But despite their family's ties, she grew jealous of him and began plotting all sorts of wickedness to make his life miserable. Some of her more notable misdeeds include stealing the sacred sword's scabbard and seducing Lancelot. But the worst thing that she did was trick King Arthur into
Impregnating her with Mordred, who she later sent to join the Round Table. Yeah, there are a lot of factors leading to the downfall of King Arthur's kingdom, but Morgan's definitely the one who tipped it over the edge.
Paradoxically, there are also some who believe another side of Morgan was devoted to protecting King Arthur. Those theories claim that Morgan and Vivienne, the Lady of the Lake who gave King Arthur the sacred sword and protected him in death, are in fact the same person.
Interesting.
Sounds like her lust for power led her to become a
Femme fatale who ruined an entire nation.
So what's the Magecraft world's consensus on her? There must be more to her story than what's commonly known.
Indeed there is. I went to our database myself after receiving our technical advisor's first report. There was one bombshell right out of the gate, and it relates to her birth. It turns out Morgan was not actually the Duke of Tintagel's daughter. That was only a pretense. She was actually the child of Lady Igraine and King Uther, the rightful king of Britain.
But that what? Okay.
More stunning still, Morgan was never human. Instead, she was a Fey child, an offspring of the Isle of Britain, just like Vortigern, the cowardly king. But apparently Morgan kept that fact secret, and pretended to be merely a normal human child. Still, with King Uther as her father, and in the absence of a rightful heir, she would have been next in line for the throne. But then a rightful heir did appear.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's what I was like, wait a minute. Well, at least in the Fate version of things, they didn't actually do the to make Mordred, so, you know, there's that at least, because obviously, you know, Artoria wouldn't have the, equipment for that. So, you know, there's that at least. But, yeah.
Once Artoria, King Arthur, was accepted by the Sacred Sword and unified the Lords of Britain under her leadership.
Oh wait, oh is that the canon? What I thought it was like she like stole her blood and used witchcraft or something to like make Mordred. No, okay, so the actual the actual canon is that Merlin grew that on Artoria, and okay, wow, okay. I feel like maybe I saw you guys mention that before, but I must have forgotten about it, because okay. Alright, well. Fascinating. I don't know how Morgan can just slip in like that, but you'd think someone would have noticed her. Unless I guess that probably would have been before Morgan was known to be a threat, so it'd be like, yeah, whatever. The Sacred Sword unified the lords of Britain under her leadership. Morgan stopped hiding her mystics, that is, the power of her fey nature, and started poisoning Camelot every chance she could. She told herself Artoria is nothing more than a human king made so by the humans. I am Britain's true king. I alone deserve to inherit its mystics. And this conviction of hers grew to the point that she eventually came to despise her father, King Uther, her sister Artoria, and every human who refused to obey her. It was a major factor in her decision to try to destroy Britain. Why did King Arthur's once noble older sister, Morgan, become Camelot's greatest enemy in her later years? Apparently that's the answer.
Yep, even after she had settled in as Queen of Orkney,
She still plotted Camelot's downfall from afar.
4 of the Knights of the Round Table, Gawain, Gaheris, Gareth, and Agravain, were Morgan's children.
And, well, I mean, I guess they already mentioned Mordred, so it's not really necessary to bring that up, I suppose. Gaheris, and again, still crazy that Agravain hasn't been added as like a full servant yet. That's kind of crazy. And of course, Gaheris would be good too, but Agravain at least had not a combat sprite, but you know, he has a set look. It's so crazy he hasn't arrived yet. Oh, maybe in part 3 there'll be another a third like round table Legend of King Arthur focused story chapter, and that's when they'll bring the rest in. Who knows? Because it's these two, Kay, the guy with the name I can never remember because it's weirdly weird. It's like for something Pylomedes or whatever the hell his name was. But it was just, I think it started with a P. I don't know. That guy. And then yeah, Palamedes. I was close. And maybe, I don't know, I think it'd be interesting to have like a proper Galahad. I don't think it'd be impossible, because they could, like we've obviously seen with other servants that there can be more than one of the same technically servant at a time, right? Like we have Archer and Caster Gilgamesh. It's like I don't see why you couldn't have Mash and an actual Galahad, but I don't know. Yeah, whatever. 4 of the Knights of the Round Table, Gawain, Gaheris, Gareth, and Agravain were Morgan's children. Mordred was, well, I don't know if I should say this without them here, but some experts think they were actually a homunculus Morgan created, or maybe a clone of King Arthur. Yeah, this is the theory I could have sworn I saw before that I was working off of.
Particulars like that aside, it sounds pretty clear that she was an enemy of King Arthur, and a witch who tried to destroy all of Britain. So what about the supposed side of her that was focused on keeping King Arthur safe? An excellent question, Captain. There are numerous Arthurian legends, and each of them describes Morgan differently. One claims she was King Arthur's noble sister. Another claims she was the Lady of the Lake. Yet another claims she had been a goddess of Britain since ancient times.
True. Yeah. No. Yeah. I guess you're not wrong. Like, I actually was just reading a manga recently that talked about how a homunculus was made, and it was like, yes, I don't remember the whole thing, but it did mention sperm being like the main. Yeah. True. The manga in question is doing XX to girls of other species or something like that. It was pretty good. It was short, like, comedy manga, but it was interesting. It was funny. Again, all the chapters are very short, and there's only like 57 chapters, but it was good for the time. Another claim she'd been a goddess of Britain since ancient times. And needless to say, each claim would seem to rule the others out as a possibility. Common sense would dictate that one of these theories is correct, and the others refer to someone else entirely. But I believe that they are in fact all true, and that Morgan was possessed of three aspects. Given that she was born under supernatural circumstances, I surmised her human side, her fairy side, and the part of her that was Britain's own avatar all existed simultaneously. But as these parts of herself are essentially irreconcilable within a single entity, I suspect each of these aspects became an independent being. One was the human side, Artoria's kind older sister, Morgan. Another was her fairy side, Vivienne, the Lady of the Lake. And the third was the avatar of Britain, Morgan Le Fay. If we assume that to be the case, everything makes sense. The Knights of the Round Table then did not bring her to justice because she was both evil and good.
Now I see. Okay, I'm convinced. But hang on, isn't Vivienne another name for Nimue? The fairy who imprisoned Merlin?
Yes it is. Morgan is both King Arthur's rival and Merlin's greatest enemy. Though Merlin was the one who taught Vivienne magecraft, her infatuation with him eventually led to her despising him and ultimately sealing him away. To do so, she employed a great bounded field in the form of a sarcophagus, a sarcophagus spell inscribed with the words, "Only those free of sin may pass." As an incubus, not even Merlin could escape it. Well, apparently he can. It was a spell from the Age of Gods known as Garden, which could only be used by the avatar of a mystic. Well, it's still unclear how much the spell Morgan has in common with Morgan from proper human history. It would seem prudent to assume that she has more weapons at her disposal than Rongominiad alone. Yeah, probably. That's probably a safe assumption.
First it's the Lion King in Jerusalem, now it's Morgan in Fairy Britain, huh? I swear, why are we always getting, mixed up with Arthurian legends? I mean, I can understand it in this case since we're in Britain now and all, but still. I mean, what are we gonna do if Albion shows up next?
Again, this is one of the other downsides of me not having played as it was coming out, because I know what Melu's Noble Phantasm is, so I already kind of have an idea of what, you know. Yeah. You know.
I mean, what are we gonna do if Albion shows up next? I don't think even a Stormborder would have a chance. Albion?
That is what this isle was known as in ancient times, before it came to be called Britain. Though, of course, that name also refers to something else in the Magecraft world. That refers to the last pure-blooded dragon, Albion. An extinct phantasmal who remained on the Isle of Britain, even as the Age of Gods came to an end. The creatures we call dragons today are simply animals who happened to acquire some of the dragon genes left behind by the dragonkin who went over to the reverse side of the world.
and ended up adopting the dragon's way of life while preserving their own. With the exception of Albion's corpse, not a single pure-blooded dragon is left on this entire planet.
Yes, that is what they say in the clock tower, isn't it? Quite a romantic notion, that. But that is all it is, and Albion's but one in a long list of fairy tales.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
More importantly, it's now been 28 days since we began this mission. Thanks to the concentrated fruit essences our technical advisor has been sending along with the reports, we now have magical energy to spare, which would let us remain here past our initial 50-day estimate. Perhaps we should advise them to stop by the border?
True, maybe we should. Ideally, I was hoping to complete this mission within 30 days, but that's clearly not going to happen.
Yeah, no, probably not.
That said, we still don't know exactly when the collapse is going to begin, so we shouldn't be too quick to change our time limit. If we stick to our initial plan, we still have 17 days left to complete this mission. Do you think Ritsuka's team can pull it off in that time frame, Holmes? Well, according to Da Vinci's report, it would seem the circumstances are nearly all in place. If their meeting with High Queen Morgan ends peacefully and she proves willing to share information about Rongominiad with them, they can then devote the rest of their time to investigating the collapse. And if it doesn't end peacefully? Now that Caldi has thrown a lot in with the Child of Prophecy,
War is all but inevitable.
we already know the extent of Fairy Britain's military power. If Artoria is able to complete her pilgrimage and muster a significant anti-Queen force, the battle for Camelot will be decided in a single day. I suspect that battle will take place in 16 days at the earliest, just barely within our deadline.
That's a interesting guess. Alright, well, it pretty much all was just... recap and guessing what's gonna happen. Alright. This is probably gonna be the only poll I'll be able to do today. What? I clicked on...
Laysai.
Shallow. Pain. Pain, Dio. Camelot. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Does this mean Holy Grail? Mayhaps?
I can hear people singing the Child of Prophecy's song in the streets. I shall speak now of a future of the end of the Isle of Mystics, which came to be known as Fairyland. Let the innocent return. Here stands the Queen's unknowable castle. It falls like rain, like ash. It vanishes like snow, like lies. Our desires languish, deferred. Even now we dance in the palm of the Queen's hand. We require now only a little more patience. After 2,000 years, the dawn shall bring the child who will be our salvation. She shall be the child who saves the world, who binds both peoples together. Even if her light begins as but an ember, even should no one see it, she'll become as a flame to draw moths. A city of iron, a sea of soot. When a calamity recedes, her pilgrimage begins. Chosen by the staff of selection, the savior, guarded by travelers from afar, shall reach the throne. The true king shall arrive at the throne. Accept now this bloodied crown. Ring, ring like raging thunder, like weeping flame. Let us hearken to the 6 bells ringing. Blaze the path of the true king. Ere the red calamity catches us, ere the black calamity devours us. Indolent and derelict though we may be, we are the scions of the free fae. Never have we wished for anything, but still we desire a shining future. There's no mention of Norwick being destroyed in that song.
So why did Oberon say there was nothing anyone could do to stop its destruction? That's a good question. I wonder, does he know more of the song than anyone else? I do, as a matter of fact. Oh, the prophecy actually has 18 verses in total. Most fairies are only familiar with the 14 we just heard, but there are actually 4 more. I knew it. Why didn't you tell us this sooner, Oberon? I just forgot to mention it, okay? I'm sorry. Uh-huh. Right. Not like, okay. Okay, yeah, sure, whatever, man. Whatever, man. I'm keeping my eye on you, you know? Can we please drop it? You can't just bluster your way through mistakes, you know. You're right, but I don't want to lie either. It's hard on me. Alright, I'll tell you. These are the other 4 verses of the prophecy, at least as I heard them. Verse 8.5. The harbor shall return to empty shore, but the calamity shall vanish into the distant sky. Verse 9.5. The round fortress shall burn, and the bell of water shall appear. Verse 10.5. Confessed sinners shall make the acquaintance of the guillotine. Verse 12.5. Having fulfilled her role, the child of prophecy shall say farewell to her home. As you can see, these verses are a lot more ominous. That and the fact that they're not very precise for a prophecy might be why they were excised. Case in point, verse 8.5. The harbor shall return to empty shore, but the calamity shall vanish into the distant sky. The harbor is obviously Norwick, and the empty shore part must mean the city was going to be wiped off the coast. So I was steeling myself to lose Norwick even if we were able to repel the calamity. But well, Norwick didn't fall. Is it because another child of prophecy appeared? Could be. This basically proves that not even Einstein prophecies are perfect, especially for these 4 verses. So I've decided I'm just not going to worry about them anymore. Now, on a more important note, you guys need to get going soon. Between Artoria, Gareth, Muramasa, and Habitrot, I think you should all be safe without me. So I hope you don't mind if I go off on my own again. More info gathering? Partly, yes, but I also just really want to give Spriggan his comeuppance. So I thought I'd stay here and work with the Count to knock him down a peg or 2 dozen until he hits rock bottom. Besides, we could have been reunited with Mash much sooner if I hadn't insisted, or if he hadn't insisted, on keeping the Child of Prophecy in his castle. Well, it would have been like a day sooner. Not really that big of a... Don't you think he deserves at least a little punishment for that? I'd say he deserves a lot. Just leave it to me. Bloodshed may not be the Fairy King's style, but I can definitely bleed him dry financially. Godspeed, Oberon. Before we leave, there's something I need to let you all know, Let me guess, Oberon's going off on his own again, right? I had a feeling he might. Oh. Gotcha. Well, I guess we don't all have to stick together all the time. And it's not like he's much help in combat. I'm sure Oberon will be fine on his own, but how come Redra isn't here either? He's staying behind too. Technically, he's still Aurora's retainer after all. And it wouldn't be good for her if he were seen with us right now. So I'm gonna have him stay here with Oberon and bring the carriage if we need it. I see, that makes sense, but you there, the pink fairy, Habitrot, right? Are you coming with us too? I mean, the way to Camelot's probably pretty dangerous, so... She'll be fine.
Don't worry about me, I'll be fine. Just think of me as a spectator along for the ride. In fact, you should probably be more worried about yourself than me, Gareth. I'm the irreplaceable healer every party needs in combat.
And I'm probably stronger than you too. You're not wrong. Don't worry, Ritsuka, I'm not gonna let you die before you and Mash are reunited. It's actually sad how she's not wrong. She really is stronger than Gareth.
So feel free to wade into battle all you like. as long as you don't die, I can patch you up with my magic needle no matter what horrific injuries you sustain. Oh, that's great. Good to know. Thanks. That sounds both very close to and very far from Nightingale's preferred treatment methods. Nightingale? Yeah, that's a nice fairy name.
So you already know a nurse as cute as me, huh? You could say that.
Quiet everyone. Here come the Queen's troops from the main gate.
Hey, Gawain.
I apologize for a 10-minute delay.
I am Tamlin Gawain, and these are 30 members of the 1st Royal Knight Moors Extermination Brigade.
Hi. Howdy doody.
We're the ones who will be providing you, honored guests of Camelot, with safe passage. Right, yeah, very safe. Very, very safe. Hang on, I'm just checking something. Alright, yeah. Thank you for your help. We would appreciate your cooperation as well. Being aware that you're being escorted can make life much easier for the soldiers escorting you, after all. We have ready the carriage for the Child of Prophecy and the Foreign Mage. Your retainers will need to walk. I trust it is alright. You're that scoundrel who tried to assassinate. Yeah, I kind of was wondering if they were gonna say anything about that. You're that scoundrel who tried to assassinate the High Queen. How are you still alive? I saw you fall into the pit. Oh, that. Yeah, Lancelot handed me my ass and tossed me right into the pit. But unfortunately for you, I managed to survive, and now I'm the Child of Prophecy's bodyguard. And next time you see Lancelot, tell her not to take her eyes off her servant until her spirit origin is completely gone.
What should we do, Lady Gawain? Are we really okay letting this man back into Camelot? What if he tries to assassinate the Queen again?
It's alright. If he does, he won't have the element of surprise anymore. I can take him myself. Especially now that the Queen has assured me not to worry if combat damages or destroys the castle. Oh!
Yeah, hey, that's great. You barely fit into place anyway. It should help you move around better.
Don't antagonize her, please! Oh my god. Muramasa, are you trying to get us murderized? What? Like, bro.
Next time we fight, I'd rather it just be head-to-head without either of us holding anything back.
I guess the Child of Prophecy has something of an eye for talent after all. Yeah, I guess. However much her other retainers suggest otherwise. What, rude? Fine. You there. Make room in one of the carts for our guests. The servants can ride with the foreign mage. Treating those two as honored guests, at least until we reach the castle, will help us all move faster. But Habitrot has her own, like, little flying machine. And I'm sure Garrett... Okay, well, whatever.
Yes, milady, right away.
We'll be taking the western road to Camelot, and spend one night at Oxford along the way. You know, I'm surprised Spriggan wasn't lying to us. I was kind of expecting to be assaulted. But, okay, weirdly he was telling the truth. We'll then take a detour around the pit towards Camelot. For the next 2 days, our fates shall be intertwined. We'll not turn our swords on each other regardless of what may happen. Do you agree to that, foreign mage? Of course. Good. Then let us be off. Soldiers, do not let your guard down simply because this is an escort mission. I hate escort missions. Actually, I don't hate them as much as most people do. It's just a common joke. But they can be frustrating when the escortee is really slow. But generally, I think it's, I don't know. I'm always a fan of, like, defend X thing or defend X position missions in games. I don't know. I like being on the defense. The Calamity's destruction has led to Moor's toxins spreading far and wide across Britain. Eliminate any Moors you come across immediately upon discovery. I don't want to hear even a peep of discomfort from our guests. Oh, how nice of you. I appreciate that. Very, very, very kind of you. Giant hole east. Okay. I'm guessing we're gonna have to use Barghest.
Oh, well, that's a relief.
This carriage ride's just as smooth as Retro Bits. Maybe we shouldn't mention him. By the way, Ritsuka, are you really ready for this? Yeah, what do you mean? It'll be fine. Kinda nervous, but you'll be fine since you're used to this sort of thing? Is that it? Yeah, kinda. Well, that must be nice. I couldn't sleep a wink last night, so I just practiced with my staff. And you're what, 20% nerves, 80% relaxed? How can my servant be so much better at this?
It's not that, Otoria. Ritsuka's just as nervous as you are.
She's just had enough experience with situations like this to understand the value of staying calm. Masters need to give orders to and watch out for their servants after all.
So while Ritsuka might not be able to fight on the front line herself, she's very good at keeping cool under pressure. Oh, really?
So you've met a lot of other kings then? Yeah, you could say that. And some goddesses too. So you'd think I'd be used to this sort of thing by now, but nope, not even close.
By the way, I heard something interesting about Tamlin Gawain back in Norwick.
Maybe we shouldn't gossip about her when she's potentially within earshot. Apparently, she was the first fairy to be made at Tamlin during the era of the High Queen. About 200 years ago, during year 1800 of the era of the High Queen, there was a huge outbreak of caterpillar moors in central Britain. That calamity later came to be known as the Caterpillar War, and it was Gawain who put a stop to it. So while it might have been like the calamity we got rid of in Norwick, she still resolved the calamity just like Otoria did, and that's what led to the Queen recognizing her skill. Surprised, overcome with newfound respect.
No, nothing but...
Interesting.
Nothing but Gawain could do would surprise me or make me respect her.
That said, I guess this means Morgan's not the only fairy to have dispelled the calamity then. Guess this means I'm even less special than I thought. Oh man, now I'm even more nervous. Oh crap, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you even more nervous.
And hey, from what I heard, the Caterpillar War wasn't all that big of a calamity.
I mean, the one at Norwick was a once-in-a-millennium great calamity, so it had to be smaller than that.
Don't forget, we saved an entire city. You have every right to be proud of that. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, Mash and Ritsuka might have done most of the heavy lifting. But I definitely still contributed, and when it comes to defeating Moors, I can hold my own against any Tamlit. What? More smoke spotted nearby, incoming from 3, 7, and 11 o'clock. Lightning soldiers, prepare your mystic codes. Guards, get into your formations.
Ritsuka.
I know, you want to show Gawain what you can really do, right?
Right. I'm gonna make her see me in a new light.
If you're out here, I assume you have no intention of sitting back and letting us do all the fighting. Very well, I would welcome your aid. There are a lot of Moors here, and I would prefer to avoid casualties. Follow me, Child of Prophecy, Foreign Mage. Make sure you stay close to me. The team-up of the century. Now, I mean, I already wanted Castoria, but now I really want to get Castoria, and... have a team, just occasionally use a team that's all like LB6 peeps. But I guess that would require me to have like, I would need at least one more person, huh? Because I have Barghest, Bavanshi. I guess I would need, yeah, I guess I would need 2 more. I have Ruler Mellow, but yeah. I feel like that doesn't really count. Alright, I'll choose this. Alright, manual setup. There you are. I already got you to on 6, right? Yeah, I did. You know what? Yeah, you. Okay. And then, of course, we'll just put the, bond essences in. We don't need anything else. Alright. Feels like a bit of a waste. Since we have... yeah, well, no, I won't use it. I'll hang on to them for now. Hang on. Gain resistance to all attacks. Damn. She just do that apparently. Alright. Thanks for the buff. I appreciate it. Yeah. We know you don't want to do this, but you gotta. You gotta, Castoria. Full combo. I kind of want to just get crit stars, ideally. Nice. Strong eater. Damn. I was hoping with the buffs she could have... Oh, she sold that one. Nice. Good. Perfect. Mores, huh? More. Damn. Nice, thank you, Bazit. I was banking on a crit there to kill that one, so that way the last attack could damage the final guy. And it worked. My ultimate plan. That relied on a lot of luck, but you know, don't worry about that. And now we'll just have Barghest. Only sucky thing is it's AoE. I guess I could have used this a while ago, but whatever. Alright. Yeah, let's do a Buster. even if Bazis resisted.
触覚露出聖剣領辱 浅い
Good thing this thing's just incapable of doing damage, thanks to Barghest. Alright, I gotta take Bazit out. She's just a liability right here. Alright. Perfect.
よーし出すね決めちゃおっかやっちゃって軟弱
Kind of surprising how easily
開いた
Barghest was like okay with teaming up with us. Like I know there was an agreement, like not to attack each other,
出すね
but that requires some manner of like
開いた
trust and chivalry. And you'd think she, but I mean I don't know. She does seem like a very straightforward character, so it seems like she would take people at their word
覚悟するがいい
more often than not. So man, maybe I'm. Oh, I just did. Oh, okay. Let's say I just realized the enemy count, but okay, we just had to beat the one. Thank goodness. Whew. Caught me off guard because I didn't realize what was. I didn't look at the enemy count at all. No! Well, so much for no casualties. There are still 10 large Moors to contend with. No more still coming. No, more still coming. We can't handle this many. Those of you without iron weaponry, stand back. Do not engage. Just lure them to one spot so I can burn them all at once. We're trying, but these Moors aren't falling for the decoy. It's almost like they're here for something else this time. Something else? Could it be? They're after the Child of Prophecy? Barghest! You. No need to thank me. We're all fighting the same battle here. Now what are you gonna do about this? Any seasoned general like you ought to know it well when it's time to retreat. I hate to admit it, but he's right. I could either abandon the carts and have my soldiers retreat, or I could have the guests go on ahead. No, I'm at Tamlin. Retreating from Moors is not an option. But they refuse to cluster in any one spot, so they're clearly being wary of my Galatine.
They just destroyed the rearmost cart. What do we do, Happy Cat? No, man. What's good having a Tamlin around if we still have to fight ourselves? Ugh, she sucks at this. Why would you give massive amounts of literally unbridled firepower to someone who's already crap at holding back? No, well, what's done is done. No use complaining about it now. I mean, not much like fighting, but walking all the way to Camelot would be worse. Come on, Gareth, let's go take out the little Moors and leave the big ones to the Tamlin. Okay, I'll do my best. I've gotten more used to fighting Moors, so... Happy Cat?
Are you seeing this blue streak of light? It's heading straight for us from Camelot.
That's the same light I saw at Sheffield.
Incoming, Lancelot? Forget eliminating all of them. Retreat. Keep the carriage in the first cart and abandon the rest. Hurry. Lightning soldiers, defend the guests. Royal Guard, retrieve the luggage from the other carts. I'll keep the Moors occupied until... No need for that. I don't think there's a need for that. What are you doing here, Lancelot? I didn't ask for your help. I don't think you need my help either, but the High Queen commanded me to come. Hostiles detected. Eliminating. Stand back, Gawain. Taking out individual targets is my area. Alright, so it's all you. have fun. We'll just be back here. Alright, Avenger, huh? Is this gonna be cinematic at all? Probably not. I'm trying to remember, did we have a unit selection screen when Tristan had his cinematic battle against... Okay, now. Well, damn, no battle lines. Alright. Alright, Miss Badass. Damn, just give us free NP, okay. Oh! Whoa. That hurt a lot. Yeah, we get it. You like cursing things. I could have finished it with a Noble Phantasm for, like, cinematic purposes, but... who needs it? Well... Whoa, she just flew in here out of nowhere and utterly destroyed them. She's like a fighter plane in fairy form. All Moors have been destroyed. Brilliant work, Lady Lancelot. So this is what they mean when they call you the undefeated dragon fairy. The most beautiful Tamlin in all of Britain. I still can't believe you took out so many... Should you be, like... sucking her off right in front of your commander? Maybe you should chill out a little bit, buddy. Can't believe you took out so many of those large Moors so easily. There. I eliminated the Moors, just like the High Queen told me to. I'll let you handle the escort from here, Gawain. And she flies off as quickly as she arrived. What was she? Some kind of VTOL aircraft? Apparently. Humph. As if you were even capable of handling an escort mission. Don't just stand there, you fools. Start fixing the wrecked cart. If this is the best you lot can do on the first day of this mission, I shudder to think of how you'll fare in the days ahead. And you can forget about resting in Oxford. Oh. I want a report from each and every one of you later on how the situation could have been prevented. You're the commander, though. Yes, milady. My deepest apologies, Lady Gawain. Pathetic. I would have thought all of you together would be able to defeat at least one or two of the large Moors. I suppose this just goes to show how overly reliant he's become on us Temlin. It seems I need to start re-educating the fairy soldiers like I'm doing with the humans. Oh. Oh, my apologies. I appreciate your help, Sorry again. I never did ask your name, did I? I wasn't authorized to do so. But now that you have aided us in a dangerous predicament, that's no excuse. I'm Gawain. What is your name, foreign mage? Ritsuka, how you doing? Well met, Ritsuka. I appreciate your obvious hostility towards me. Damn, that obvious? You've got spirit. I like that, since we'll be enemies later. Alright, let's get this escort mission back on track. Oh, and I'd advise you to watch what you say in the carriage. I could easily overhear you depending on which way the wind is blowing. Oh, that's I literally said that. Like, should we be gossiping about her when she's potentially an ear raid? I knew it. She definitely heard us say something about her. I don't know what, but it's something. Hopefully nothing. I don't think we said anything like bad, but still. Man, I thought we were going to be put up in a nice inn at Oxford. I can't believe we're camping out again. Alright, if we can't have nice accommodations, at least we can still have nice food. I'm sorry we don't have enough to share with the royal guards, but I say we have the cakes the Count gave us now. Oh, it looks like mine's called a cheesecake. What's yours called, Victoria? Mine says Swiss roll, both good choices. Oh wow, it's shaped like a log. This should make it much easier to eat. That's so thoughtful of the Count. You proper human history people are also considerate. I'm not sure I'd agree, but yeah, why not? Sweet yam Yokon? How the hell did he manage to make this here? Some tea would go real nice with this. I think I'll go down to that river and fetch some water. Nom 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 nom. What was this called again? Chiffon cake? So this is what happiness itself tastes like. I don't think I've ever had... Well, if I had, it's been like years and years, but I don't think I've ever had chiffon cake. Unless I know it by a different name. That's possible. Hang on. Random, but I need to check now. Oh no, I have had this. Does it have a different name? Because I swear I don't... Like, the name's not familiar. But I have had it. I just interesting. The name does not ring a bell. This is what happiness itself tastes like. I had no idea they had so many kinds of sweets these days. Oh yeah, it seems even Fairy Britain's been developing a bunch of cake recipes. Back in Salisbury, I heard about Woodwose's restaurant in the south, and Edinburgh's, gourmet desserts in the north. I didn't do that. That's interesting. Maybe my mouse got stuck. I don't know. Interesting. Gourmet desserts in the north. But it sounds like cheesecake's the one kind that never caught on. I wonder why. Really? But so yummy. It does make me a little thirsty, though. Munch munch. It's because a big shot up north absolutely despises cheesecake. She always says cheese has no place in dessert, and that it has to be chocolate or nothing. Though of course, for fairies from the south like me, chocolate is such a luxury I don't even know what it tastes like. It costs so many more pounds that low-level fairies can basically never afford it. Yeah, that's rough. What is it, Ritsuka? I'm gonna go make a little peace offering. Oh? Albatross seemed happy about it. Do you have a custom of eating sweets after a meal here? I don't usually care for sweets. If I'm going to eat something cooked, I'd rather have meat. So no, I won't accept that. But I can see you have something to discuss. Go on then, have a seat. You want to talk to me about Lancelot, right? Very well then, ask me anything you wish to... Actually, I wanted to ask about you. I see. You're trying to figure out my true name. No! Pointless, but I can at least respect your willingness to try anything you can. Come to think of it, I still haven't properly thanked you for your help earlier today, have I? Come, sit. If you wish to talk, I can indulge you for a short while. Thanks, I guess? I manifested in Britain for 400 years ago. I was meant to be the next generation, the successor of an upper-class Fang Clan fairy in Norwick. Except that I didn't look anything like my predecessor. Yeah, you look almost human. Even though I'm a Fang Clan fairy, I was born resembling a Wind Clan one. No, if anything, I look like a human. Some suspected I might be a changeling. Others said I was a curse from the battle against the Moors that took place 600 years ago. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. I don't know the truth, and I don't care either. I earned the honor of becoming a Tamlin when I ended the Caterpillar War. Up until that point, the title of Tamlin had been sealed away for all 1800 years of the High Queen's reign. In case you don't know, the Tamlin title originally belonged to the retainer Zvash, who was said to be Britain's savior in the Fey era. The first Tamlin was called... I'm sorry, I can't actually remember their name. At any rate, they met their end in Orkney. After that, the Queen forbade the naming of more Tamlin. But she decided to revoke her own seal to exterminate the endlessly spawning caterpillars. Thus, I was gifted the name of Sir Gawain, which is said to be the name of a Knight of the Round Table of a foreign land. Foreign land, different timeline, potato patata. And gained the means to strengthen my horn. My Galatine. I believe you call it a noble phantasm. 600 years earlier. Okay, that makes... okay. Well, I mean, 600 years ago made sense. I was just thinking it was 200 years before she was born, but no, it would have been 600 years even before then, in this case. Okay. Well, I'm confident it's every bit the equal of Sir Gawain's original. I'm just as confident that I can't hold a candle to the real Sir Gawain, the Knight of the Round Table from proper human history. Oh, that's rather self-deprecating. Weirdly. I didn't think she would have so much respect for the Knights of the Round Table. But never mind. I shouldn't be talking about the Round Table. I'm told it's creepy when I do so for some reason. Let's see, what else can we talk about? I know. Let's talk about the war against the Moors. I guess maybe it was less self-deprecating and more just her being reverent of the Round Table, like Ritsuka said. No. This war took place a millennium ago, along with one of the great calamities during the 1000th year of the era of the High Queen. It was a time when the Moors had a king and an army, and waged war against the High Queen and 5 of the 6 clans. Apparently this king was something of an odd duck. He never attacked fairies or killed humans. All he cared for was fire and lightning. He would gleefully destroy anything, and then only for the joy of watching it burn. He reduced cities and forests to cinders, raised the ground before him, and summoned rain clouds just to hear their thunder. Some fairies called him the Storm King, at least until the High Queen forbade anyone from speaking that name. Huh. Didn't we fight a Moors that used a skill or something called Storm King? Like in Section 3? Something like that? Section 2 maybe? Yeah, odd. The war against the Moors King lasted for decades until finally the Fang clan brought it to an end. Woodwoes, a fairy who had recently succeeded the previous head of the Fang clan at the time,
was the one who dealt the final blow. And so the Great Calamity, the King of the Moors who feasted on magical energy, was defeated before the Fang Clan. Or maybe it wasn't a Moors, but there was a... Yeah, that was one of those shadow creatures we fought early on. That wasn't a Moors, but... It was like among Moors. I think they fought a battle or two of Moors and then that thing. I don't know. Was defeated before the Fang Clan. However, it said that with his dying breath, the king... Oh, it was with the Black Dogs. Okay. It said that with his dying breath, the king cast a curse upon the Fang Clan. What kind of curse? The fairy-eating black dogs. It was only after the King of the Moors vanished that the black dogs began to roam Fairy Britain. However, they also eat Moors, so they're not just harmful. There are even some squads who train black dogs and use them in Moors hunts. Like you? Mine is one of them, in fact. Have you ever heard the epithet the Black Dog Duchess? It refers to me. Even now that I've become a Tamlin, I'm still called a black dog. I don't blame them, though. After all, I eat everything, including fairies and humans. Oh! Yeah, never mind. I was gonna say something, but don't worry about it. Huh? Oh, now you're scared of me? So you had no idea you were trying to get information out of a woman feared throughout Fairy Britain as a monster? Well, worry not. I would never eat you. I only consume the strong. Yeah, we got that from your skill, strong eater. Yeah, I know. I'm unusual for a fairy. What I eat makes me stronger. In fact, I can inherit any unusual powers or abilities the fairies I eat may possess, though with limits on capacity and compatibility. And right now I'm still full on foul weather, the great Earth Clan fairy. I needed his sacrament for the Caterpillar War. It was crucial. But he had holed up in his fortress in Cornwall and refused to come out. So I challenged him to a duel, defeated him, and devoured him. Alright, I think that's enough time spent relaxing after dinner. Go back to your camp now. Oh. I thought you'd be more the strong and silent type. I'm glad I was wrong. I'm used to talking with humans. In fact, my current husband is human. When are you gonna eat him? Really? Well, I say he's my husband, but he's neither a romantic partner nor a future meal. She's not talking about Beryl, is she? Is she also in on the... No. Right? No. He's just a guest I'm putting up in my mansion while he recuperates. Did she not kill Tristan? Oh my god. No, we heard him fizzle out though. No. No. Surely not, right? Surely. No. But I mean, we've heard the fizzling out before, and it ending up being a fake out. So who knows? He's just a guest I'm putting up in my mansion while he recuperates. Still, you do remind me of him in both your lack of fear and your innocent curiosity. Uh-huh. Alright, back to your camp now. My soldiers and I will take turns keeping watch. Don't stay up too late. We'll be setting out early tomorrow morning. Forgive us, no more prayers, close your eyes. There's not much time left, the veil has fallen, extinguish the light. Today is ending, farewell, this day too will end forever. Forgive us our sins.
It's too late to do anything now, but make sure everything is cleaned up. It's that song again. Interesting. Doubt she would call a servant a human. Yeah, you're probably right. That would be interesting, though. If seeing how valiantly he put up a fight against her, she decided to not kill him. Again, you're probably right. She wouldn't call a servant a human more than likely, but it is an interesting idea, though. I think. Who could she be? Obviously, it's not Beryl. Who could she be referring to, though? I guess we'll see. I imagine we'll probably see. Like, there's no way they just mention that and not do anything with it. 2 days after leaving Norwick, day 30 in Fairy Britain. Ooh. So that's Fairy Britain's Camelot. Yeah, looks like a pretty nice town.
I've never seen it from the other side of the pit before. It's definitely impressive, isn't it? So that part we were seeing from Oxford must have only been the back of the castle. I thought it looked more like a wall than a castle, but now it looks more properly royal. It's got one urban area around the main gate and another one inside the ramparts. I'm guessing that's to separate the general populace from the upper crust.
Don't let the gate fool you. The side facing the pit is actually the castle's front.
Really? So that big fancy gate's actually the back gate?
Oh no, it's the main gate. I'm sorry for confusing you, Gareth. There's no way into the castle from the pit. You've got to go through the gate to get inside.
Well, what about fairies who can fly? Can't they just zip inside?
No, it ain't that simple. There's a magecraft barrier around the front of the castle, the side facing the pit. If you ever fall in there yourself, you'll see there's a ton of gun ports all along Camelot's walls. And you don't usually put cannons behind a castle, right? So we can be pretty sure the side facing the pit's the front. So if Morgan's not worried about an attack from the main gate, then she's like, you fucking little shit.
Ritsuka.
Gawain is glaring at something up north.
Whatever it is, she's obviously upset about it.
You're friends now. I don't know about friends. We had a friendly conversation, but friends might be pushing it.
You're friends now, right?
Go on, ask her what it is. Okay. She's being really insistent about this.
What is it, Ritsuka?
Are you suddenly having second thoughts about entering Camelot?
It's not that. You're wondering what's got me so upset? Can't you see for yourself? That's Knocknaria's army up north. Knocknaria? Where? I don't see her anywhere.
Right, you're too short, aren't you? What a shame. Rude?
Well, no matter. It's none of your concern anyway.
Are you kidding? Of course it is! Muramasa, can you build us a watchtower or something? Anything that'll let me and Ritsuka see what's going on?
Whoa there, hang on.
Before you go to all that trouble, how about using one of my handy-dandy gadgets first?
Here, spyglass. This'll let you see at least as far as Gawain can. Now take a look at those plains up north, and you'll see some really intense glares pointed this way. Oh wow, I can see super far with this. Thanks, Da Vinci.
Try turning the dial on the side. It's set to 5 kilometers right now. But if you crank it to the 4th notch, you can set it to 20 kilometers.
There, see them? There's a ton of fairies gathered in those plains. That must be the northern army of that other queen we've been hearing so much about. Knocknaria of the King Clan. That's her army? It's not just Fang and Earth Clan fairies. There are also lots of soldiers with masks. Are those giants? There are giants there!
That's right. Naknaria's rule bestows power and wealth upon any who swear fealty to her. It's the opposite of Gloucester and Murrian. However, that effect only works when Naknaria herself is nearby.
I see, so if she wants her troops to be effective, she can't be far from them. Go on, Ritsuka, try looking a little farther ahead. See that huge carriage? The one that kind of looks like a small fortress? There's a fairy standing on top of it looking down at us from up there. And even though this is your first time seeing her, I think you'll agree that there's no mistaking who this Northern Queen is. Let me see. Yeah, Med. What is this angle? Well, it's definitely a very Celtic bodysuit. Whoa, that's Med, the Queen of Connacht that fought in America. Yeah, almost. Oh, I already assumed it was her that put a stop to cheesecake getting popular. As soon as I said in the north, because someone, I was like, Naknaria. Right? She looks just like Med, doesn't she?
Her taste in clothes is a little... okay, a lot different though.
Oh, that's weird. She's staring straight at Artoria.
No, wait, it's more like she's looking down at her? Mad at her? She definitely looks ticked off.
20 kilometers away or not.
I can't believe she brought her troops all the way out here. Yeah.
Isn't this obviously a hostile act towards Queen Morgan? Naknaria and her forces are still just within her territory.
She claims she's only running a military exercise. She's only running military exercises in preparation for the Great Calamity. 10 days ago, she was conducting those exercises 40 kilometers away. Now that Sheffield has fallen, she's closed the distance and come further down south. She must have 20, no 30,000 troops there. That's not just a threat. It's preparation for all-out war. How the hell does she keep them all fed? Alright, fairies don't need to eat. No, we don't. Unlike humans. That's one of Naknaria's army's defining characteristics. She despises humans and won't even use them in combat against Moors. Damn. Well, her loss then. She envisions a Britain run by and for fairies alone. Oh, okay, so we don't want anything to do with her then. Got it. With her as its sole monarch. That both does and doesn't sound like something Med would say. That said, she won't be sending her troops any further. She has no definitive reason to challenge the High Queen, nor much chance of success if she were to try. The Northern Fairies have been incited to rebellion against the High Queen several times before. Each time they find themselves retreating north with their tails tucked firmly between their legs. This time will be no different. Alright, that's enough idle chatter. Let's go. We're about to pass through the main gate. From now on, I suggest you remain sharper than ever. Hi-yo, ma'am. Damn, what a nice city.
So this is Camelot's Castle Town. It's even bigger than Salisbury, and even fancier than Gloucester.
Naknaria is the name of the hill where Med's burial mound is believed to be. Oh. I was gonna say, I wonder if that's... Like, obviously from a writing standpoint, it's intentional, but... I wonder if that means, like, in-game, in lore, in universe, maybe that was where she manifested? Like, maybe on that hill, and so she took the name of the... where she, you know, was born, quote-unquote. Because Yuto Nakanaria will be staring at you. Infatuation, maybe? Because I mean, Med is still Med. If she sees a man, she'd be like, I wonder if he could keep up.
It's even bigger than Salisbury and even fancier than Gloucester. You can tell only upper-class fairies live here. The manna in the air here is like nowhere else in all Britain. And that castle keep over there must be where they keep the existence taxes. The magical energy they extract from every fairy in Britain through command spells. I've heard stories about it, but this is way beyond what I was expecting. No wonder they're not worried about Nakanaria's army out there. It has to be way beneath their notice. Trying to take Morgan on now, someone would have to be crazy to do it. I guess Bogart must have never set foot here before. If he had, he'd never have thought to rebel. Then again, maybe he knew what he was up against and decided to press on anyway.
Yeah, it sounds like something he would do.
I thought I saw some writing on the gate when we went through it. Did anyone else see that, or happen to catch what it said? I did. It said only those free of sin may pass in Old English.
Oh. A defense against Merlin, I guess? Because, I mean, Artoria's mentioned him, so he obviously exists here. But I also noticed it had been painted over with red, like someone didn't agree. This is as far as we go by carriage. The royal castle lies just ahead. Only the Child of Prophecy and a foreign mage have been granted audience with the High Queen. The rest of you will stay here where you will be treated as the attendants of our honored guests. Oh, meaning what exactly? You see the Royal Hotel across the way? We've arranged for you to relax there while you wait. I will make arrangements for you all to reconvene once the meeting is concluded. Okay. However, your name is Da Vinci, yes? You seem like an intelligent servant. As a human, the foreign mage will surely need an advisor. You may accompany her in that role.
Oh, good.
I was planning on tagging along regardless, but this makes things much easier. Maybe you shouldn't say that out loud. We may be on opposing sides, but I appreciate your consideration, Tamlin Gawain.
Okay, Gareth, Muramasa, Habitat, you heard the lady. You guys will have to stay here and wait for us. Don't worry, you've seen how well ordered the Queen's army is over these last 2 days. Morgan's obviously even more a stickler for rules than we thought. The three of us won't be in any danger even if we face her alone. We'll be safe for at least as long as we're in Camelot, regardless of how the meeting goes.
I'm not surprised. I did break into the castle my first time here. I didn't expect them to invite me in. Anyway, good luck in there, Artoria. Don't get so carried away you end up saying something you regret, alright? You too, Ritsuka. Watch your partner's back, understand?
I can't say I'm not worried.
But strangely, I do agree that it feels like you'll be safe.
Okay, well, I'll be waiting for you here. Be careful, Artoria. Good luck. I'm fine with this arrangement, too. I'm not interested in Morgan anyway. I'm just here to keep an eye on things until Ritsuka and Mash are reunited.
Alright, let's do this thing. She can't be that scary, right? I imagine Pamela and Tristan's probably there with her, I would think. Probably not gonna be a one-on-one. Could be, but I very much doubt it. Oh, how scary. I like her throne. So this is Camelot's castle keep, the Queen's throne room. Here. Kinda similar to the one we saw in Jerusalem Camelot, but also very different.
Kneel. Present. Worship. Submit. Emissaries to the throne, cease your breathing. 30 ambassadors, 100 officials, close your mouths. You're in the presence of High Queen Morgan, the king who expands our boundaries, and upon whose shoulders all of Britain rests. Revel in her glory. Know this, child of prophecy. Know this, foreign mage. This meeting is a sign of the High Queen's grace and amnesty.
Thank you. It is so very good of you all to come, even without a formal invitation. My ambassadors and officials are now commanded to be silent. Until this meeting ends or I order otherwise, the only people permitted to speak are myself, my guests, and me, Barrel Gut, the Queen's hubby. Sorry, fancy fairies.
Barrel Gut, so he really is here in Camelot.
And did he say he's Morgan's husband?
Hey there, Itsuka and friends. Haven't seen you all since Olympus. Why look a surprise? Hey now, don't tell me Mash didn't tell you I'm Morgan's beau.
Does this mean Queen Morgan's?
Right? As a master yourself, of course that's where your mind goes, right, Ritsuka? Yep, it's true. I admit it, I'm Morgan's master.
Again, no, I thought she was living. Unless when you got here you killed her, but then immediately resummoned her as a servant or something, but... okay.
A partner of the High Queen who rules over the land of the Fae.
Well, that doesn't make any sense, right?
Sure does, and it's true. I mean, yeah, she's so far out of my league, I have a hard time believing it myself, but facts are facts.
Artoria, I give you permission to approach. Raise your head.
Okay.
I see. It appears you truly are the child of prophecy. And you must be the foreign mage. The master of Chaldea seeking so desperately to restore what you call proper human history. Yes, I am. Your efforts in Norwick, though commendable, were unnecessary. Still, you did well eliminating the calamity. I will therefore reward you accordingly. Typically, I would compensate you in the currency of my realm. However, I understand the source of your magical energy is spatial magical energy occupying values you refer to as QP. Which are derived by viewing magical elements as particles, correct? Yes? I trust 100 million of these should suffice. I'm sorry, what? Take them.
That much?
And wait, does this mean you have a QP mint here? Of course not, I'll simply create them myself by using your own Magecraft Systems methods. Don't tell me that's what the gold chest at the end of this is.
I'm sorry, I'm salivating.
I have nothing more to say. If there's nothing else you wish to discuss, then our business is concluded. Artoria, Ritsuka, if either of you would ask questions of me, now is the time. But be warned, though you are my guests, careless words may cost you that status and the protection it affords. Looks like it's up to me to speak up first. So you'll speak up first then? Very well, you are indeed brave. Tell me, Conqueror of 5 Lost Belts, damn. What is it you want? Chaldea's goal is to resolve the bleached earth phenomenon. Yes, I'm aware of the situation in the outside world. Beryl Gut has informed me. But there's been another anomaly detected in this lost belt that we need to resolve first. Oh? What sort of anomaly? Using an ability similar to Einzel's ability to prophecy, we've observed a future depicting a cataclysmic collapse. We don't yet know what causes this collapse or how it will actually happen. But if it isn't stopped, it'll spread across all of Britain and ultimately destroy the entire planet. That's why Chaldea came to Fairy Britain. We need to investigate this collapse and prevent it from ever happening. Now that the Tree of Emptiness is gone, we have no quarrel with this lost belt. Our goal is to stop the world's collapse. That's all. I see. So you say you've come here not to conquer our world, but to save it. Is that all? We also want a divine construct we can use against a foreign god. That's right, we're hoping to acquire the sacred lands from Gominiad, the incredibly powerful spell you cast at Olympus. We would like you to provide us with either a mystic code that lets us use that spell ourselves, or the magecraft theory we can use to recreate it. Olympus? Foreign god? What in the world are those outsiders talking about? Oh, Morgan, you've left your people woefully ignorant, huh? And how can they be so reckless, making a demand of the High Queen of all people? I'm sorry, but... Didn't she say you weren't permitted to speak? Yes, I know the weapon you seek. I also believe you when you say you have come to save Britain. And so I will say this to you. You and your proper human history will come to a miserable end. Oh, over it. Oh, yeah, kind of expected that, yeah. This collapse you've observed will be the result of me expanding my territory. I shall be the one to put a true and final end to your history. I would never willingly surrender my divine construct to you, my mortal enemy. Ritsuka, arrogant child. To save your world, you'll have to defeat me. What you call proper human history cannot be saved otherwise. Is that your way of declaring war on us, Queen Morgan? Proper human history in my realm can never coexist. If you wish to save your world, you'll have to win it from me. I really thought she might be willing to listen. Now we have to fight after all? I mean, again, from her perspective, I don't blame her, because she's ultimately just trying to create an expansive world that won't disappear for her people. So, I mean, from her perspective, she isn't really a bad guy. Like, the way of her rule is questionable, but ultimately she is trying to do what's best for her. Maybe not necessarily people, but her land. So, I mean, that goes for you too, Artoria, accursed child of Einzel's prophecy. The year's end will bring a great calamity. It shall once again destroy every fairy in Britain. But fairies do not learn, ever. No matter how many times they die, they will always be born anew. As long as my castle remains intact, Fairy Britain shall always be reborn, even should all Britain burn. Your Majesty, are you saying you'll only protect your kingdom, not your citizens? Yes, I offer fairies no salvation. I shall defend my land, nothing more. With all the magical energy I've stored in this throne, I have nothing to fear from the great calamity. Furthermore,
Only a chosen fairy can sit this throne. You are neither like other fairies, nor that foreign mage. You've been chosen. You are neither a rebel nor an invader. You are the Staff of Selection's chosen wielder. By accepting my invitation, you've proven yourself the true child of prophecy. You and you alone have the right to bring me to justice, fairy sent from paradise. Even should you fill oceans with the blood you shed in your battle against me, you would be innocent of sin. If you wish to save Britain, you must defeat me and claim the throne for yourself. Go then. Fulfill that absurd prophecy if you can. You should know better than anyone that you have no choice. Then it would seem our discussion is concluded. I am pleased to now understand each other.
I know, right? Who wants a nice, peaceful resolution where everyone goes home buddy-buddy with no bloodshed? Me? I'd prefer that. So on that note... You guys are stupid enough to come here with nothing more than faith in people's innate goodness and honor. And now your negotiations have completely broken down. You didn't really think you could leave here without a fight, right?
Huh, of course not. Ritsuga, Toria, get behind me. I thought this might Be silent. Even now, these are my honored guests. I will permit not so much as a hair on their heads to come to harm, nor will I allow even an insult to their pride until they have left Camelot.
You've got to be shitting me! Forgive my husband's insolence, child.
Daughter of Tintigel, so long as you remain Otoria, I shall not recognize you as my enemy. As long as the bells of pilgrimage remain unrung, my lords are forbidden from attacking any of you. However,
if she does start ringing the bells and officially declares herself the child of prophecy,
then and only then shall I name her along with Chaldea, my enemies, and marshal my army against you.
I therefore advise you think very carefully before beginning a war you cannot possibly win.
Now stand down. I am certain there's nothing left to say. Or is there?
Where'd you take Mash?
Mash? What is that?
That's the name of our companion. The one you swallowed up with the spell you usually use to get rid of calamities. She's a demi-servant with the spirit origin of Galahad, the Shield Knight. Since you named your Tamlin after other knights of the Round Table, I'm sure you must know that name too.
I see. That explains it. Yes, I hold your knight captive.
Where is she? Would you mind giving her back? I see no reason I should tell you. She is my trophy. Oh, but I can assure you she's alive and well. No one can harm her. Not even me. Huh? Interesting phrasing. Huh. Very interesting phrasing. Is Mash just that built different right now, somehow? Or is it an honor thing? Like, we won't harm a prisoner? At least we have a small lead on Mash now, but yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't much of a discussion, was it?
She basically just told us we're enemies and threatened to show us no mercy if we dare to defy her. Yeah, pretty much.
Yep, can't say it was a very productive talk. We now know that Morgan definitely sees proper human history as her enemy. And we now know that Mash is safe, but being kept in captivity somewhere.
But that's just confirmation of some things we already at least suspected. I didn't see anything that could give us any kind of clue as to how we could possibly beat her in a fight. Yeah, we didn't learn anything useful about the divine construct either. Actually, we did make just a bit of progress there. Remember that atrium in the throne room? The one overlooking the pit? Well, I noticed a distinct magical energy pattern nearby. It was very similar to the Lion King's in the Sixth Singularity. That confirms for me that Morgan has Rungominiad on hand in weaponized form. And not just one or two of them either. She must have at least 10 in place around Camelot's main gate. And with that many of them on hand, she must have already used them here several times before. So we can assume the one she threw at Olympus must have been just one of several she had at the ready. It would have been great if she'd been willing to sell us just one of them, but it's pretty clear that's not an option. So now the only way for us to complete our initial objective of acquiring that defined construct for ourselves is to defeat Morgan. Yeah, we have our work cut out for us.
Still, at least we made it out of there safe and sound. So we also know that Queen Morgan's true to her word. True.
Both Morgan herself and all of Camelot might be so stuffed with magical energy it's downright chilling. But she was also adamant about upholding the laws she set as queen. She didn't even listen to Beryl when he tried to break them. I know, Ritsuka. That only makes it all the more mysterious. Beryl said he was Morgan's master. If that's true, it would make her a servant. Yeah, which doesn't make sense. But it can't be true because she's been ruling Fairy Britain for the last 2,000 years. Beryl couldn't have come to this lost belt any sooner than the end of 2019. Just like all the other cryptors. Obviously, Morgan would have already been the queen of this land by then, so he couldn't possibly have summoned her as a servant. So the question is he lying about that? Or is he being made to believe it? Either way, we need a lot more information before we can draw any conclusions.
Oh, hey, they're back! Guys, over here! Welcome back, Otoria, Ritsuka. So how'd the audience go? What's Queen Morgan like? Was she terrifying? Was she strong? Was she really 10 meters tall? I mean, anyone who would take Tristan as a daughter must eat nothing but other fairies, right? Well, she definitely seemed like a queen. Get that out, Gareth. Can't you see the Child of Prophecy's doing her best to not display or fun? The truth is, the queen was completely ordinary. Right, Otoria? Isn't that what you want to say? Huh? I can tell. I'm an expert at reading fair maidens' minds, after all. Don't worry, Artoria. It's okay to be yourself.
I don't know much about how maidens think, but being yourself is a good advice. Good advice. Deep down, you're a stubborn shrew with a fierce competitive streak, right? If anything, you were probably thinking something like, the queen? I could take her any day of the week. Give me 1,000 years and I'd probably be way stronger than her.
I wasn't thinking anything of the sort! And couldn't you at least make it 100 years? You know, he really knows how to break the tension, huh?
Guess we won't be getting a cushy carriage, escort back to Norwick.
Especially after they basically kicked us out of town. I wasn't expecting the way back to be easy, but now that it's time to go, it's looking harder than ever. If they'd just given us at least one carriage, we could have had a nice, comfortable ride back to... Hi, Oberon! Oh, hello. Fancy running into all of you here. Yeah. Very coincidental, huh? I was out taking our new carriage for a test drive, and I just happened to find myself in Camelot. It seems like fate to me. Go on, get in, don't be shy. Oberon, you sly dog.
Yep. I figured you'd be finishing up around now. I take it your audience with the queen's all done now.
I'd love to hear all about it, but first... we should probably get going before our presence here gives the queen's army any ideas.
Hello, everyone.
Did you ascend?
I'm glad to see you haven't been tempted by any other carriages.
Yeah, sure.
Say hello to our new and improved carriage. It's now got 6 passenger seats and 2 sleeping berths. With this bad boy, I can promise you all a more comfortable journey around Britain than ever before. You'll see, they don't call me Regra Homestretch Bit for nothing.
Oh, that's great to hear about the carriage, but
Why are you glammed up too?
Once I told the fairies of Norwick I was one of the Child of Prophecy's attendants, they were delighted to absolutely pamper me. The Earth Clan fairies whipped this armor up for me during the celebration snort.
I see. Well, that's nice.
I just hope you're ready to pay for it yourself.
Huh.
Yeah, you don't get shit for cheap there, buddy. Oh, we're going north, huh? Not back to Norway. Okay. I mean, I guess we had to head north eventually. To be fair. Oh. By proceeding to this quest, 100 million quantum pieces will be gifted to you by the High Queen. Any QP that exceeds the maximum limit cannot be received. Isn't the maximum limit 999 million? So I think we're fine. Seeing as how I only have 19 million currently. Did they really expect you know, How many people could have possibly had that much QP by this point? The only way that would be possible is if someone only ever like ascended and leveled like and skill upped like maybe 10 to 20 servants. Well, actually, no, I guess for people who are playing over the course of years. I don't know, maybe. Maybe I'm underestimating people's QP savings. And that's how our audience with Morgan ended.
Well, she certainly didn't mince words, did she? Morgan's eager for this fight. I had hoped there might be some way to broker peace if Chaldea and the Child of Prophecy met with her together, but she obviously never had any intention of giving up her throne to the Child of Prophecy, the true king. And that's not all. Morgan doesn't even plan on saving Britain. She said she was going to expand her territory and destroy the outside world, right? I was already pretty sure that was her plan, but I didn't know how she planned on pulling it off. But after hearing about your meeting, I think I've got it. She's going to use the Great Calamity herself.
How so?
I remember the Auto Mirror spell she used at Norwick. That's what she always used to get rid of calamities before.
She's gonna use the spell to send the calamity into the bleached earth area. Or proper human history, technically, I guess.
Isn't that right, Hubbertrot? Yep. She doesn't usually break it out at that massive scale, but that teleportation spell is one of her go-tos. So even if Ritsuka and Mash hadn't gone to such extraordinary lengths, she would have still made the calamity disappear. Or rather, she would have made it her own. I think Morgan's been trying to acquire the calamities for herself. And if she is, that must mean she's able to harness their magical energy and use it as her own. That's the magical energy she's going to use to overwrite Ritsuka's world, proper human history, and make it her territory. She's going to take the curse meant to destroy the world of fairies and use it to destroy the world of humans. That's her plan. She's not out to stop the Great Calamity. She wants it to happen. So instead of getting rid of the Great Calamity, she's going to use it as a weapon? Even though she has more than enough power to banish it like she did in Norwick? But that would mean only the fairies inside Camelot would survive.
Yeah, I think that's the point.
Now you mention it, those upper-class fairies in Camelot all looked down on the other cities. I even heard him say stuff like, the only fairies worth anything are those from Camelot, with a straight face. They've completely bought the whole privileged class nonsense the Queen fed them. I'm sure they just think of the Child of Prophecy as an irritant. I know the Queen said she wouldn't consider us her enemy until we ring one of the bells of pilgrimage, but she's also married to Beryl, right? It's a good thing Oberon showed up with the carriage when he did, because there's no telling when he might have sent troops after us.
You said it. First things first, we should put some distance between us and Camelot. We can figure out our next course of action after that. If nothing else, we know exactly what we have to do now. If we're going to save our Britain, our world, and MASH, we're gonna have to defeat Morgan, yeah. That was an inevitability. Several hours after the meeting at the emptied throne room. Still no sign of movement from the pit. That's concerning. That aside, a great calamity that comes every 1,000 years, The sheer idiocy of these fairies never ceases to amaze. At least it's useful. I'll use whatever I must to erase proper human history forever. I don't know if I like these two being in cahoots? Question mark? You again. You know that merely observing will resolve nothing. If you are truly the foreign god's priestess, you should at least try to kill me. Though of course that assassination attempt by the disciple of the foreign god did not go so well for him. No servant comprised of a heroic spirit from proper human history can hope to match my Tam Lin. If you'll do nothing but stand there and watch and do not show yourself, I tire of looking at you. You know, they look weirdly similar. The priestess and Morgan. If there's something you wish to say to me, then speak as he did. Maybe I'm just saying that because they both have silver hair. Sorry to interrupt your chat. Hey, how you doing? I would have knocked, but there's no door here. Of course not. Why would I welcome guests merely because they come knocking? I do have a waiting room, though, had you cared to use it. You mean the ghost ward down below? It is majestic, but unnecessary. I don't have time to wait. I'm neither omnipotent nor a talented mage like yourself. I'm just an ordinary man capable of nothing but ordinary work. Truthfully, I should be avoiding places like this where I have no business in the first place. Your actions defy comprehension. You're clearly from Chaldea. You are on the side of proper human history. Well, the foreign god means to wipe the slate of human history clean. I could end up destroying it before she gets a chance. Is that not why you're here? To stop me? No, if you can really destroy it, go ahead. What? True, if left to your own devices, I'm sure you'll indeed destroy this planet and erase humanity. Then what were the double doors open for that? Yeah, right? Like, what's he mean there's no door? That is preferable to the foreign god achieving her goal. Your goal is to wipe out proper human history so you can expand the land of the Fae and rule as its queen. I can't approve of your goal or your approach to pursuing it, but I do respect what you've accomplished. So I'll neither try to interfere with your plans nor lend Chaldea my aid. If you should succeed in rendering this planet a lifeless husk, I have no objection. If you're not here to interfere, then why have you come? You claimed you had no time to waste, did you not? I came to see what you've created here. It deserves at least that much. You saw the Tree of Emptiness for what it really was, and instead of fearing it, you used it yourself. You grasped Chaldea's summoning system instantly, and made it your own.
Oh? Interesting.
Those are truly exceptional accomplishments. There are scant few who've even approached your level of godlike genius. Now do you understand, High Queen Morgan? I came here to praise you. I cannot imagine there is anyone else willing or able to give you the accolades you deserve. Your estimation of my magecraft skill means nothing to me. If anything, it sounds snide. Now if that is all you have to say, then leave. This world is soon to be mine. There'll be no place in it for either the foreign god or a beast. I know. This was the last chance to intervene anyway. Even if I did try to get in your way now, it wouldn't change anything. If my aim were to stop what is happening here, I have come 2,000 years too late. Your history is perfect. Your script is complete. While you did make a mistake with Tristan, your victory is still close at hand. As one who has stood in this very position, I wanted to applaud you on the path you've taken. In my estimation, neither the Child of Prophecy nor the Master of Chaldea have any hope of defeating you.
Well, I doubt that.
Though of course,
We're a third player who's yet to show themselves to intervene. That could change things considerably. Uh-huh. Interesting, tidbit that. I'll have to keep, an eye for a ally, I guess? Or maybe not necessarily ally, but someone else who wants to... I mean, that maybe that's just referring to what their face, Percival and the Army of the Round Table, or whatever he called his people. Because we are going to Londinium now. I don't know why I went down here. Well, no, you know, Londinium is here, right? It's like one of these places, I'm pretty sure. Round Table Army, yeah. So, but they have shown themselves though, like Morgan is aware of them. So I don't think it'd be them, because again it's not like they're hidden. I don't know, I suppose we'll see. But anyhow, I guess they'll do it. I don't doubt that she's able to do it. Like, obviously it came up as a threat for a reason, but like, how is she? Again, I'm thinking it's probably just she's planning to use the water mirror to send the calamities that she's built up to the Bleached Earth Proper Human History Zone. Mash, be quiet, please. That's probably all it is, right? Just send it. But how would that, I guess, how would that help in expanding her territory, though? Unless, once the Moors are there, she can then, since something from her history will be in the outside world, that will give an opening to then for her territory to expand. Add notes. Yeah, okay, there's a few. Caterpillar War. Powerful Fang Clan Fairy is born. She goes on to become Tamlin Gawain. Most war. The more like his arms. What was it? Most like dogs. Yeah. these three are all new. Interesting how there's something in 2010. Like, what could possibly take place between Artoria being born and Chaldea arriving? I guess we'll see. But yeah, anyway, But yeah, so much for getting Morgan's Rongo mini ad. That would have been real handy, but she has no interest in helping us. Next time, it seems like we'll be heading off to and meeting the Round Table Army, because their base is Londinium, right? That's what they named their base, so I imagine that's what will be occurring. Finally meet Percival. Like Gareth, I'm assuming he looks just like proper human history Percival that we can summon as a servant. So, unless he also happens to be... No, he's probably not. Well, I don't know. They did say he was human, right? Like, wasn't that the whole thing? Is he was able to, like, go toe-to-toe with Gawain in a, like, tournament or whatever? And they were surprised? Is Britain poetically called Mystere or Foggy Britain? Or Albion in English? I don't know. Not sure. I pretty much never hear anyone call call England Albion in general, really. Like, I know it's like an old name for it, but I'd like never hear it, so I'd have no idea. Just not used to find it as a poetic nickname for Britain, so it's curious. Yeah, it might be. I honestly have no idea though. I'm not sure. But yeah, anyway, I guess I'll do it. And next time, yeah, like I said, next time we'll probably meet. I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of leaning towards it being Servant Percival rather than a fairy-like. Because, like, again, they said that this Percival was a human, right? So it's possible that he's just a No, but... No, if it was a servant, they would mistake him for a fairy, if anything, rather than a human. So it probably is just a straight up human from this place. Which is a bit, a little bit disappointing. But at the same, well, I don't want to say disappointing because, like, it expands on the lore, but, like, it wouldn't be that crazy because, again, you know, Tristan did randomly spawn. But who knows? I'm surprised we haven't had another, like, proper human history servant crop up quite yet. But the Chaldean, quote-unquote, did say that Tristan was a mistake on Morgan's part. Like, I don't know if that was referring to the Tristan that ended up helping us at the beginning, or her Tristan, her Tamlin Tristan. But with him saying that she got a hold of being able to use the summoning system, I assume it was actually her who summoned Tristan, but maybe she messed up and didn't, like, she summoned him but didn't actually make a contract with him, and so because he was summoned near a master, that's just how it... I don't know. My money's on Tamlin Tristan being what he was talking about. I don't know, with the whole, again, like, with him mentioning that she was able to use the summoning system, I really don't know. I feel like maybe she meant to have proper Tristan, like, assassinate us, or at least spy on us, but messed it up and didn't actually contract with him, only summoned him. But I don't know. I'm sure there'll probably be answers to these questions as we go, but yeah, for now, we'll leave it there. We'll do Londinium tomorrow, and then I'll probably take like 2 days off. Well, while I'm working on trying to edit the last couple Fate Zero episodes, because I still have to do that. I've just been putting it off because I'm like, oh, well, I streamed today, but I need to actually work on that, so... or last 3 episodes, not 2. Yeah, I think I have 3 episodes left to edit and upload. So, yeah, I want to try and work on that this weekend. But there will be a stream tomorrow at least, so... For now, that's gonna do it. Thanks for watching. And, yeah. I'll catch you later. Peace.